Welcome to Deep Dive. I'm your host, Kevin Benedict, and I'm reporting live this week in Barcelona, Spain, here at SAP Ariba Live. I want to introduce my guest. My guest is the Global Vice President of Brand Experience for SAP Ariba and Fieldglass, Molly Spatara.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Did I say your last name right?
You did, yes you did.
All right, love it. I know you and I have been trying to coordinate our schedules for a little bit because you have a really interesting title there. So, Global Vice President of Brand Experience.
Right.
What does that mean, Molly?
Well, when you think about now what it means to manage a brand, it really is all about the experiences. A lot has changed, obviously, and just with any experience we have, and many are immersive, right?
Yes.
What we're doing right now at Ariba Live is probably the highest expression of our brand. Every touch point, every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce our key messages, our value proposition, but we're not necessarily doing it always in an overt way. But we want to make sure that every touch point is something that reinforces the things that are important to us and we feel are important to our customers.
So I noticed on day one at the keynote, I think everyone on stage was female.
Yes.
Was that purposeful?
I'll tell you what, we started out looking for just the absolute best speakers and subject matter experts. Honestly, I can honestly tell you it just worked out that way. And then we said, well, look at that. And it just was a happy coincidence, really. So
I noticed on social media, everyone else picked up on it.
Yes,
They were saying, this is, really great. You're trying to make a statement here that, there's just powerful leaders out there with a lot of great things to say. And in the past, they might have been underrepresented, and not this year.
No, and in fact, yesterday you saw plenty of women, and today you will as well.
Yeah, Tasha Thurman will be up front today.
Yes. So Rana El-Kaloubi is going to talk about emotional AI and social robotics.
Oh,
really interesting speaker.
Very cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, about me, I'm an integrated marketer at heart, really. I enjoy bringing the experience together across channels and touch points to tell the bigger story, and I also like to anchor to a bigger idea. So I always think about, well, what's the bigger point here? What's the more profound meaning that people should take away from something? So I think of the synergy that happens as part of integrated marketing, and that is what motivates me. That's probably the most fun, and kind of like if I think about what has driven me all these years, that's really it. But then I specialized in digital for a number of years. It's been a number of years leading and managing that space. And so I have a lot of experience there. And then I have been the CMO of Fieldglass for over 2 years now, and I've moved into this role of brand experience for Ariba and Fieldglass because we have just merged those two businesses. The brands are still very much there, but the two businesses are merged. And so what that means is that we are looking at the larger value proposition around intelligence spend. And then even more recently, the intelligence spend group was formed where Concur is now part of that. And so they're yet their own business, but we are all working together. So we're just beginning this adventure. But it's great because the brand experience is the tip of the spear. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, Yeah.
So let me ask a personal question. When you go to a restaurant, when you go to any kind of venue, are you like observing everything about it and saying, what's the experience? What are they doing? Is it purposeful?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I do. I do a little of that. Yeah, so I can't help but notice.
Oh yeah,
right.
Everything from your airlines, the airports, everything.
And you know, I will provide constructive criticism at times too. Not that they want it, but I will. You know.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah.
So, what does brand experience mean to you? That phrase. How would you define it?
I mean, it's the way a brand makes you feel. You know, as a result of interacting with a brand, a message, an event, a website, an advertisement, what do you want me as the audience to think, feel, and do? But I really think that at the center of that, it's what are you motivating me to do? Am I motivated to lean into that? And so I think that the feeling is what probably is going to resonate most with folks, because we have a lot coming at us right now, and things have to break through and capture our attention and pull us in. And so I really think that feeling, that's why I say, what's the larger idea? Are we standing for a bigger idea at every opportunity that we have? And so to me, that's the essence of brand experience. But it's what do we want our audience to think, feel, and do? And is it immersive? Have we taken a 360 approach to that? Right? Because you're walking around here for the last 3 days, or over 3 days, and every single detail of this has been thought about with what we want you to think, feel, and do.
From the receptions or the hosts that greet you at the door?
Every bit of it.
The color coordinated SAP brand, even the people guiding us to the buses were wearing SAP t-shirts.
And how did it make you feel?
Yeah, like we were being cared for the whole time.
Right.
There wasn't a lot of confusion or anything.
Right. Simple.
Yeah. Simple. I don't know if I would define it as simple.
Well, meaning it's not complicated. No, right. I mean, it shouldn't be complicated for you.
Yeah.
Right. That's again, it's what does it make you feel? What does it make you think?
Absolutely. So this whole notion of brand experience. So I've been in technology for 30 some years now, and we used to just want to emphasize with all of our branding and marketing features and benefits. Now the things you're talking about are much higher level and different. So how did that evolution take place?
Well, honestly, you have to meet people where they are. They're trying to solve problems. They're pursuing new opportunities, and that's what's on their mind. If I'm approaching you and saying, I need to talk to you about the features and benefits of my product, they're going to be like, you're not even listening to me. So you have to be relevant. How are you making your product, your service relevant? And it has to be in the context of what your audience cares about and what they're trying to solve at that particular time. Well, how then do you break through and get them to say, wait, that's interesting. I want to learn more about that. Because remember, there's a lot coming at them. So if you're just in there, feature benefit, you're just noise.
Right.
You're noise. But if you get my attention and I say, well, that's interesting, because I've been talking about this new research that we just launched, and the fact is, we call it Services Procurement Insights 2019, the big reveal. And the fact is that there's some revealing information in the research. So did I get your attention? Or do you want to learn more?
I want to learn more.
Well, so that's the point. But I could have just gone and started giving you stats and got immediately, and I also could have started selling you my product. Guess what? The product isn't even talked about in the research, in the study. Nowhere. Because I want you to think about the challenge, and I want you to think about the information that we're providing about the market, and is that helpful to you? And if it's helpful to you, you're going to say, I think I might want to have a conversation with SAP Fieldglass and Ariba. right?
Yep.
So I didn't take the direct approach, because if I come at you with features and functions, you're going to do that.
So a lot of what's being talked about here is purposeful spend, it's relevant spend, it's values-based spend, where if you want to actually spend your money with companies that have values that are aligned with you.
Right.
Now, as soon as you do that, though, you're starting to segment the market a little bit, because not everybody will share your values. So how do you strategize behind the scenes and say, how can we both really emphasize purposeful spend and values-based spend, and not segment the market into those that would be pro and those would be con against your position?
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. We actually have a brand framework, and as part of that, we say, every human being wants to make a more profound impact in their role, right? Don't we all?
Yes.
We get up every day and we want to make a difference. And there's two parts to how we are as human beings. One is we're business people, and we're also global citizens. Mm-hmm. And sometimes one might be more important to an individual or play a bigger role in the day-to-day. But you can't help but have both. So, for example, if you're in procurement, you are being asked to look at more sustainable supply chain. You just are. There are real bottom line business impacts to that. Yes, it's you're making you're helping the world spend better, right? But you're also doing some really important things for your business and doing good in the world at the same time.
Yeah.
There's much more of an imperative now in business to make that part of your thinking. So being a global citizen and operating as a global citizen is part of how everyone has to approach it. We have listened to some incredible speakers in Austin. I think you might have been there in Austin. You heard the gentleman from Sands.
Yep.
Incredible. I mean, he really got even just a little bit emotional when he was talking about that part of his job, which is he's the chief sustainability lead. He's also the CPO, but he's the chief sustainability lead.
Wow.
And that part brought up the emotion. So so that part clearly was near and dear to him. This is changing. So watch that space.
It's fascinating
right.
to me.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
Because it's a complete different evolution of marketing.
It is.
And, in the past, you look
at... And
business, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because business used to be, you would set your values aside and then it was all about profit.
Right.
But now when you break that down and say, doing good is good business, and there's profits there, and as Amal Clooney said earlier this week, she, if I paraphrase that a little bit, she said something like, if you can run a profitable business, then you're a sustainable business.
Right.
So if you can both be a sustainable business and profitable business, that's the best for everyone.
Right.
Because if you're losing money while you're doing good, that's not going to be a sustainable model.
Right.
I think that's what she was getting to, even though I kind of messed it up. That is absolutely true.
But people have, in the role of procurement and supply chain, they're making decisions where they're choosing suppliers, and you can choose to work with suppliers who are all female, businesses, or they are local businesses. Just any number, and you can identify these things in the Ariba network. You can identify that. You can also do that with Fieldglass. You can decide who you're going to procure contingent talent through, and so they're identified in a particular way. And you make those decisions as an employer, as a business. And we give you the visibility and the information to be able to go in and see those choices and make those choices.
So Molly, if we were to pull back the curtains a little bit to what's going on here at SAP Ariba Live. What experiences were you hoping people would get from these 3 days?
The thing that I probably am noting the most, aside from it's a fantastic general session main stage experience, I'm thrilled with the speakers and the content, but I really like what's happening in the Ariba marketplace. I see a lot of conversations, it's just buzzing. People are finding it intuitive. Which sometimes isn't an easy thing to achieve when you have a lot of information and there's a number, you have people from procurement, supply chain, finance, HR, IT, operations. You have customers, prospects, partners, employees, it's just influencers, everyone. And so you have a number of different personas. Everyone's got something that they're here to accomplish. So what we did was we put the event together so that it was really persona based. No matter how we thought about it on a persona level, and we designed the experience so that you would be able to come here and have the kind of experience that you wanted to have. And a buyer or a prospect who's just considering working with us you can really have the kind of experience. And a lot of, frankly, networking is a big part of this, a big part of this. So that when you go to the show floor, you see that networking happening. You see business being done. And that, to me, that's a success.
When I walked in, I said, I love this because you have all the kind of booths and educational sessions on the outside. And the middle is like a giant living room with kitchenettes everywhere, right? So there's food, there's water, there's chairs everywhere. I love that. I've been to 1,000 conferences in my career. So many of them, to find a place just to sit down.
I know.
It's like in the dark on the edges.
Yes.
It's not the primary.
We've changed it up.
Yeah, you have everything around a circle.
You shouldn't have to leave.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't have to take yourself out of the experience in order to do what you want to do at the conference.
That's brilliant. I love it. Yeah. So
did you see Cirque du Soleil?
I did.
So the performers?
Yeah, they were.
Cool.
I'm trying to catch up on emails, and they're like juggling and handstands all around me.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No. So Molly, I want to thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your wisdom and your strategy with all of us today. I want to thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.